The British Museum has brought the exhibition Italian Renaissance drawings from the British Museum to the Macau Museum of Art. This includes 52 drawings by 42 great artists of the Renaissance, including drawings by Miguel Angelo, Rafael and Leonardo Da Vinci. This is one of the 3 drawings that we've chosen especially for Macau, and this is one of the most important works in the exhibition. This is a study by Miguel Angelo for the wall of the Sistine Chapel, showing the Last Judgment, and it dates from 1534. It's an immensely powerful drawing, and here we see different themes within the exhibition coming together. We see the artist exploring the human body, creating incredible perspectives, and helping to tell the story through the impact of the human figure. In the centre here we see almost the full body of one of the angels in the Last Judgment, but Miguel Angelo is exploring even as he's working. So you see we have different parts of other bodies which he's inventing and creating as he goes along. This is very much part of the working process. It's an insight into the artist's mind. Looking at these drawings allows us to see how the artist is thinking, so it's as if we're looking through their eyes as they try to figure out different challenges and different perspectives on their art. So it's as if we're travelling along with them in the creative process. This section is devoted to costume and cloth, and we are going to look at a drawing by Leonardo Da Vinci which focuses on these challenges. This drawing was made when Leonardo was very young. He was in his early 20s, and we see him studying how to represent cloth draped over a figure. Probably this cloth had been dipped in plaster and laid over a wooden mannequin, so that when it dried, it was possible for the artist to study it in lots of detail from different angles. This is the only drawing in the exhibition which is on cloth, which helps to make it more robust, to keep it for future reference. This drawing could have been used for many different figures, for example, an angel in an Annunciation or a saint, the Virgin Mary. It was very versatile, so an artist, once he'd established how to draw cloth in this way, could reuse it for many different figures in the future. We think that this drawing might be of particular interest to people because it shows silk manufacture going on in Italy during the Renaissance. The silk had obviously come from China along the Silk Road and was a very precious and luxurious fabric, but at this time it was cultivated in Italy, and Florence in particular became a very important centre. This is a design for a painting which was made in the dressing room of a powerful cardinal, and I like to imagine him getting dressed in the morning in his silk robes, looking at this painting and remembering how the fabric he was wearing had been manufactured. This is by Taddeo Zuccaro. This image makes it clear that the Renaissance is not only about an Italian-focused world, it's also a world which is very interested in international contacts, both with the Middle East and then also with China, because of course paper making is another technology that comes from China and becomes incredibly important to the production of Renaissance art. We would not have all these beautiful drawings without that paper making technology. In this first section of the exhibition, we are looking at the human figure in all of its different forms, and this is a very unusual and rare drawing by an artist called Rosso Fiorentino. He is not as famous as Leonardo or Raphael, but he worked in Florence and he spent the last part of his career working for the King of France. This drawing is so unusual because it shows us a female nude. This is an incredibly rare subject in the Renaissance because women were governed by very strict moral codes. And of course, modelling nude for a group of artists was completely scandalous. So in Italy, artists could sometimes hire prostitutes or professional women to model for them. But most of the time, female nudes were actually drawn from male nudes and then later transformed in the paintings. They had lots of costume added on top, so often it wasn't much of a problem. But here you can see a very real sleeping woman. It's a beautiful drawing, and this red chalk really adds to the sense of the softness of the flesh. In this section we're looking at movement, how to create movement, and this is a drawing by Raphael, showing us the hero Hercules who is fighting the centaur Nessus. Nessus has just stolen Hercules' wife. Hercules has rescued his wife and is now fighting the monster. So this is from the period when Raphael first comes to Rome, and until this point he's been drawing these very graceful, beautiful, ethereal figures. Now he sees Michelangelo, and he's really impressed by this powerful, muscular figure. And so he begins to work it into his own art, which we can see here. And the way the muscles are tensed gives us the impression of movement, because we imagine what's going to happen in the next moment when Hercules brings his club down on Nessus. It's a really powerful drawing, and it's quite large compared to many of the other works in this exhibition. The figure is very impressive, and in fact this is the image that's been chosen for the poster for the exhibition, so you may recognise it from having seen it around. In this exhibition, we hope that people will have the chance to get to know better the works of the three great artists, Leonardo, Michelangelo and Raphael, and to understand how they differ. So Michelangelo is famous for very powerful, dramatic figures. Leonardo is much more creative, the way that he explores the world in different ways. And Raphael is very elegant and very graceful. These are the qualities that they've been admired for 500 years in European art. And we hope that people can understand some of this from visiting this exhibition.